Have you seen the recent headlines claiming the UK state pension age is being brought forward to 68? Before you panic, there's something very important you need to know because many of those reports are creating confusion. In this video, I'll explain what has actually changed, what hasn't, and who could really be affected. Welcome to Pension and Benefits Guide, your trusted source for clear, simple updates on pensions, retirement, and government benefits. If you want straightforward information without the confusion, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Over the past few days, there has been a lot of attention on reports suggesting that the state pension age will rise to 68 earlier than expected. The latest headlines were triggered by a report from the Office for Budget Responsibility, often called the OBR. But here's the key point. The idea of bringing the increase to age 68 forward to between 2037 and 2039 is not new. The OBR has used this timetable as its working assumption for years. At the moment, the law still says the state pension age will rise to 68 between 2044 and 2046. That legislation has not changed. What has existed for years is government policy supporting an earlier timetable, but that policy has not yet been written into law. So who does this actually affect? If you're currently between the ages of 49 and 55, you're the group most likely to be impacted if the earlier timetable becomes law. Under the current legislation, you're expected to receive your state pension at age 67. But if the increase is brought forward to between 2037 and 2039, you could instead receive it at age 68. According to the information discussed, that's roughly 5 million people who could end up waiting an extra year, representing around £12,500 in state pension payments at today's annual rate. On the other hand, if you're already over 56, you're generally still on track to receive your state pension at 67, or if you're older, you may already qualify at 66 or even earlier depending on your age. And if you're under 49 today, you were already expected to receive your state pension at age 68 at the earliest, so this particular change would not alter your planned pension age. Now here's where the real impact becomes clear. There are actually three different things people often confuse: the law, government policy, and your personal state pension forecast. The law is the Pensions Act 2007, which currently schedules the increase to age 68 between 2044 and 2046. Government policy is different. Since 2017, successive governments have supported bringing that increase forward to between 2037 and 2039. Although governments have changed over the years, that policy direction has remained the same. Then there's your personal state pension forecast on gov.uk. That forecast is based on the law as it stands today, not future policy. So if you're between 49 and 55, your online forecast may still show a pension age of 67, even though government policy has long pointed toward an earlier increase to 68. That's why checking your forecast is still important, but it's equally important to understand what that forecast actually represents. If you're finding this explanation helpful, take a second to like this video, subscribe to Pension and Benefits Guide, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Sharing this video could also help someone else avoid being confused by the recent headlines. But the most important question is this: when could the law actually change? For many years, governments have promised to give people at least 10 years' notice before increasing the state pension age. If the target remains to move the increase to between 2037 and 2039, legislation would need to be passed soon enough to maintain that 10-year notice period. That also raises another debate. Is 10 years really enough notice? Supporters argue that a decade gives people enough time to adjust their retirement plans, continue working for another year if necessary, or increase their pension savings. The Institute for Fiscal Studies has supported the general principle that people in their 40s and early 50s should have enough time to respond. However, others believe 10 years may still not be enough, especially for people on lower incomes or those whose health may make it difficult to continue working. Those groups could be affected more heavily because they may have fewer options and, on average, shorter life expectancies, meaning they could receive less state pension over their lifetime. Another question many people are asking is whether the state pension age could eventually rise to 70. For now, there is no indication that this is an immediate change being considered in the UK. While increases beyond 68 are possible over the long term, they are not described as a near-term issue. Denmark has often been mentioned in this discussion because it plans to increase its state pension age to 70. Denmark linked its pension age to life expectancy, but it has also said it intends to cap future increases at 70, arguing that expecting people to work beyond that age would be unreasonable. So where does all of this leave us? The most likely outcome is that the move to a state pension age of 68 will eventually be brought forward, but it is not yet law. The recent headlines should not be treated as brand new developments because this policy direction has existed for many years. And finally, remember that your state pension forecast reflects today's legislation, which may not always match future government plans. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think giving people 10 years a notice is fair, or should there be a much longer warning before changes like this take effect? Share your opinion in the comments below. Thanks for watching Pension and Benefits Guide. If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss important pension and benefits updates. And be sure to watch our next video, where we'll continue breaking down the latest pension news into simple, practical information you can actually use. Until next time, take care.